It's time for Contessa's Court with Wanda Julian. Wanda owns, creates, and runs 7 magazines. Each magazine is focused on health, beauty, and luxury. Her business motto is to share beauty and goodwill with the world. Now, it's time for the show, Contessa's Court.
There we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Wanda Julian. I'll explain more about myself in a minute. I'd like to introduce my co-host and best real-life friend, Cindy Daly.
Hi.
Hi, Cindy. It's so great to see you, and you look beautiful.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. And so we are on a journey together. Did you see the countdown? Were you able to see the countdown? Oh, look at the background. It's so pretty.
I was all dancing to the countdown.
Me too. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good song. And so, how me and Cindy met, I don't know how far we go back, but why not? Why not go back? We don't have to say dates or anything. But we met in college about 12 years ago. And yeah, right around there. And we liked each other right away, became really close right away. When I was a fashion designer, she was my assistant. Her and her son Alex and her mom, we'd go over there and we'd have the best time together. Yep. She did my hair. My hair was super long. I just cut it all off. So if you used to see me with long hair, I just cut it all off. And so my hair was down all the way down my back, and she curled it all in ringlets. And I wore a little tiara, and it was so pretty. And then I did my makeup myself, and she helped me in my dress. And we had the best time. And we got married in the winter, so I remember trying to walk super careful with my shoes, my little satin shoes. And I was like, oh, please don't let me run these shoes. And so we've had so much fun together, and we have the best time, and we are so good for each other. We're very positive people. Yeah. So that helps. We help each other grow and feel good and have really good energy and just be the best we can be. I know we're both works in progress, but who isn't? I haven't met a perfect person yet.
Right?
Dreams, yeah. Oh, our dream sessions. We dream about everything that we want in our life and our future, and for each other, for our families, for our loved ones. Sorry, my pages are blowing everywhere. And I'm a talker. I do my hands a lot. And so we're big dreamers. We're big doers. And so in case you don't know who I am, I'm the owner, editor-in-chief, and creator of Contessa's Court. We have 7 magazines. There is a fashion, beauty, wedding, and health and wellness. And then we have a luxury lifestyle that's out now, a money magazine, and a real estate magazine are coming soon. We have those slated to launch probably about when you're watching this, they'll be out. So we're very excited. We have big brands on board for those 3 magazines I just mentioned, like Maserati, Lamborghini, Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, and the Four Seasons. So it's a big deal to be in there. So if you want ad space, or you contact me, my email will be on here. And then also, we're also doing one-off magazines where you can have your own magazine. It's you on the cover, 10 pages all about you and what you do, and then your logo and your contact information is on the back cover. So basically, it's a little magazine created just for you by me and Cindy.
Yeah.
And so that's perfect for entrepreneurs, coaches, whatever you do, it'll work and it will look fantastic. And as you can see, my Gmail's right there at the bottom. And a little bit about me. I'm a mom and a wife. I have 2 sons. One is named Austin. He is 29. The other is named Skylar. He's 14. And then I've been with my current husband for 14 years. In a few days, it'll be 14 years. And we've been married 8.5. And Cindy, do you want to say a little bit about you?
Well, I'm a mother as well. Recently, I guess as close to being widowed as I can be without being married. I am huge into crafting and creating and colors, music, and I love to read.
Yes.
Just read a book by the author that we're going to be talking with in a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
That's perfect. And she has a wonderful son named Alex, and he's going to be 21 soon.
Very soon, yes.
Very
Too
soon. Time flies. I can't believe Austin's 29. I'm like, what? This is him as a baby.
Yeah.
This is him as a baby
back
right
like
here.
10 years.
Right? It seems like he should only be like 19, but he's 29. I'm
I
like,
know.
wait a minute. But that's just part of life, and I love being a mom. I love being a wife, and I love what I do. It's my passion. It's one of my passions. I love to paint. I love to sculpt. I love to write. I'm a writer as well. I'm working on some books. And I'd like to go back to fashion design, but in a small container, like doing fascinators, doing scarves and ties, and just that's it. That's what my passion is. And Cindy is amazing at making hair accessories. They're breathtakingly gorgeous. So maybe next time she'll wear one so we can.
Oh, I'm wearing one right now.
Are you wearing it? Take it off and do you want to show it?
Yeah.
It's so pretty. And then we'll welcome William. Oh, that's beautiful. See, look how pretty it is. That is pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it so much, and it goes really good with your shirt.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, they're really fun to make. I love making them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you're so good at it. You're so talented with all the colors and everything. We got a couple minutes, and then we'll welcome William on. And so let's see what else.
Now it doesn't want to go back in.
Oh, that's okay.
Because I'm on a ponytail.
Let's see here. Well, we can just welcome William on now because I ran out of things to say. First show jitters. First show jitters, right? I know. Yeah. I never run out of things to say.
I know.
Hi, William.
Hi, William.
Hello, Wanda. Hello, Cindy.
Huh?
Glad to be here.
Oh, it's great. We're so glad to have you. So let me introduce you while you're on. You're a world-famous author with over 200 books published. You have a couple documentaries in the works, and you're doing screenplays now, and you're going to have a movie made from one of your books. You are just the all-around success. I mean, you're just so multifaceted and talented. I'm so glad that you're on our first show. I'm so happy about that.
Well, I'm so glad to be here, and you're certainly looking good with short hair.
Thank you. I cut it all off. It's so different, right?
You look so different. I don't think I would have recognized you. But
right?
You look good. You look good. Of course, Cindy always looks good. So
yes,
thank you.
Course, always.
Yeah.
Always. So
by the way,
huh?
Go ahead. You're the host.
Well, I'm just so excited to have you on. I'm such a fan of yours and everything that you do, and you just blow me away. Like we're actually real life friends, right? We're
Yes.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes on Facebook he'll be like, I just wrote 10 pages and I'm going to the computer because I love to write my work as well. When I sit on the computer, I edit too much. Do you know what I mean?
I hate it. I hate editing, so it's very seldom I do any editing until the very ending, and then I'm reluctant to do it even then. I
Yeah.
like to. I'm impressed by people who like to edit though, because
I love it.
oh, well, there you go. Two of you, I know where to come from. Come to for my for my next editing. It's not my favorite thing to do. By the time I'm writing a book, I'm so
Yeah.
bored with it that I'm not all that interested in going over and reading it again and trying to correct it. Mistakes.
Oh, I love editing. So if
So
you
do
ever
I.
need um, a fresh pair of eyes, we got 4 eyes here, two and
Right.
two.
Why,
So we would love to
thank you
do
very
that for
much.
you.
I'll keep that in mind because God knows I need it on occasion. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're both college educated in English, so
Yep.
I took the legal approach. So I have like lots of grammar, 3 English classes that are college level, and so I'm really good at editing. It's just editing my own work, I get so attached to the characters, and I'm like, I can't cut anything out. So I have to have someone else edit for me.
God,
I
I didn't
did.
real.
Yeah, I did the medical classes, and I had to have grammar.
Yeah.
And I have 3/4 grammar behind me. All nearly 4.0 GPAs in my grammar classes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I love editing.
Yeah, she's good at it
I didn't
too.
realize there was grammar rules and regulations until the 8th grade. So,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
there you go. Yeah, I usually wing it. I usually just did it because it sounded right and it worked for me until I discovered that I had to learn rules and regulations, and then it got
Yeah.
no. Well,
You're like,
I will keep you two in mind because that's excellent.
That's
By the way,
awesome.
Cindy, what book of mine did you read again? And
Dare to Love and Oz.
and dare I ask whether you enjoyed it?
I read Dare to Love and Oz, and I loved it.
Oh, thank you. That's good.
I read, yeah, I read that book in 2 days.
Oh, well. I'm always reluctant to ask for fear that someone will say, "Oh God, I'm stuck." So,
oh no, the story was fantastic. It was a great storyline. I loved it. I was so engrossed.
oh well, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm very glad.
That's amazing. So tell us about the first documentary that they're kind of making about your life, right? It's about your life and your body of work.
Well, it's about my body of work, mainly centered, I think, on the erotica aspect of it, of the early days. Is what I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they just approached me and asked me if I would be interested, and I thought, who would even be interested? Not even I would be interested. Oh, well,
Everybody?
I said, nobody would be interested in that. But they actually persuaded me. So I went in. They got a couple authorities on the subject. And they called me over to Seattle for a day of interviewing. And I sat and interviewed in front of the camera. And I guess then they had to do some more because the guy who was producing it didn't like what was there. And so they did some more. And now I guess it's finally in its post-production, but God knows how. Look, I've learned by working with movie people.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything, and certainly don't expect anything to happen fast.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So I'm just sitting back. I mean, I've seen the movie posters, which I don't mind, and I've seen a couple of teasers that they put out, like on YouTube and out into the market. That's not bad. But that's I finally said yes, and so I agreed. But I'm still not too sure that I'll even go see it.
I think it'll happen because it's gone through every stage so far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's promising.
Yeah, so that started out good because I guess he had the financial backing. Somebody was interested enough to put up some money to begin with. So he had the money.
Right.
So he had so it's gone through everything and it's now there. So I'm figuring all publicity is good publicity, even bad
Absolutely.
publicity. And there was nothing there before, and whatever is there now is at least there. So, it'll be there when I'm long gone. So, good luck to them.
William, what is your contact information? So we can get it scrolling on the bottom of the screen so if people want to contact you. It's williammaltese@yahoo.com, right?
Yes. If they
Okay.
if they want to contact me by email, certainly that way.
Okay. We wanted to scroll at the bottom so people can see.
You think I want people to contact me, do you?
Well, why not? Why not? All
Never know,
fans
you
are
could get
good
some-
fans.
Right, and you could get some fantastic book ideas that way too.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes. Okay. Very well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any scrolling there, Wanda.
I think she has to type it in.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's not
I'm
magic. Well, it is
As-
magic, but
You've
there we
probably
go.
yeah.
Yay!
And you've probably seen I'm not very computer illiterate. I am a lot computer illiterate. I'm not very computer literate. So, so I
Hey.
appreciate anything anybody can do in that regard.
You can write, you can
Yeah.
read, and you can send emails. You're good to go.
That's
You're good to
Right.
go.
Good. Well, yes. Thank
And then you
God.
have us for some of the other stuff. So
Thank God if I need it. Yeah. If I need
Yeah.
anything
you got a
else, I
phone.
would, I'd be in poor shape if I needed anything else.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that is amazing. I would love to talk to you in the future. Well, we had a behind the scenes conversation one time where I said that one of my goals is to have a movie studio and to turn some of your books into movies. So I still want that to happen. I desire that. It's going to happen.
There's 11 Oz would be a fantastic movie.
It would be.
And
It is a good story.
It even has a movie script at the present time. So
See?
we can go fast.
Yeah.
I love it.
When that happens, we can just move.
We can move forward. I love it. And then tell me about the film documentary about the Blue Boy magazine.
Oh, well, I don't know whether you ever read it, but there was a magazine called Blue Boy magazine, and it was a luxury living magazine, kind of like Contessa's Court, but had an audience that was mainly gay at the time. But it was the first slick magazine that was on the stands. I mean, before that, all of everything else was newspaper-like. And it was actually the first magazine that had professional, editorials, and it had professional photographers, and it had professional writers. And it came out, and it went away like everything else. And they're planning on bringing it. They're planning on bringing it back, issue in October, along with the documentary in regard to the parts that the magazine played in the early part of publication. So I was flown down to LA to participate in it because I wrote for the magazine at the time that it was out. So I was one of the people, so they called me down. Yeah. Well, I like to get put up in the Hollywood Biltmore and that thing.
Yeah.
So it was a good time. But like everything else, it's a film documentary and you're dealing with film people. And God only knows when. I mean, it was scheduled to come out in May. Now it was scheduled to come out in October. So God knows, maybe I'll be in a nursing home by the time it appears.
Oh, I hope not.
But at least it's another thing that's in the works that was interesting. I mean, I didn't like traveling on an airplane in the time of COVID, which I did both to Seattle for the other end documentary and to LA for this one.
Right.
But in the long run, I figured, it's all I'm putting out is a little of my time.
Right.
So if they want to put out the money on the expense, I'm willing to see what turns out in the end.
Great. When we go to Hawaii, do you want to come?
Oh no!
You have to
God, no! No! Who in the hell would want to go to Hawaii?
Right? It just sounds so terribly daunting to go to Hawaii. I mean,
I gotta pack a little bag because all I'm going to be wearing is a bathing suit
You might
and shorts and a tank top.
be sure and check with me when the time comes. I'm
Oh,
sure.
of course I will, because I want to take people that have helped with the magazine, and you've helped for what now? Probably 6 years or so,
Do
right?
you know that's been a real pleasure because
Aw.
it's a change of pace to write, shorter pieces. It's a
Yeah,
change of
for
pace, and
sure.
yeah, and it's interesting. And you hit a good demographic with your magazine, so
I
it's
do.
always my pleasure to participate in that sort of
Yes.
thing with you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Now you have 3 film scripts written. Can you tell us about them and if they're being pitched anywhere?
They that's again, we're talking about the movie industry, but as a result of the documentaries, I was approached by people who wanted me to
Uh-huh.
submit, who wanted to pitch to see if they could put, in a package to present. And so,
Yeah.
because of that, I wrote it. So there's 3 scripts out there. Plus, there's I once had a novel that I wrote in a novel format, and as I wrote as a play format, and as I wrote as a movie format, and I was asked for that, so I sent that. And then I have
Wow.
an agent who just checked in who wants to represent one of my books, which was a mainstream Brentridge Gold. He wanted to pitch it, so I said, go ahead and pitch it. And then another agent came in and wanted to represent Dog on a Surfboard, and I said, yeah, go ahead. So it's just kind of, they're there, but I'm not expecting them to be on the silver screen tomorrow. Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
next year, next
Well,
year after,
you know what?
5 years down the road.
Just be
Whenever.
patient. All these things are
Yep.
flowing to you, so just keep a positive attitude about it. These things will happen. I mean, think about it. You attract all these things. You do all these good things. You write all this, amazing books and cookbooks and all that. And by the way, you have 7 cookbooks, or is it 9?
No, it's only 7. It's only
7.
7 cookbooks.
Yeah, I remembered. And so the cookbooks are extraordinary. So
Still
if
waiting
you
for
like to
some.
cook, if you like, I have them. I have 4. Is it 4 of them, William? I think I have 4.
Do you have 4? You don't have 7?
I don't have
I've been
7.
I've been lax, haven't I?
It's okay.
I
I'll
haven't
bring
been
them
doing.
over.
I haven't been doing my promo to important people, obviously.
I'm important, just in case you
Well,
forgot.
that's
I'm
that's right.
important.
That's what I was saying. Not 4. Yeah.
I'm semi-important.
Well,
important. We're all important.
Cindy,
I
you
know.
are important too.
I know.
Yeah, Cindy is important too. We're just gonna sing songs. Cindy is important too.
Yes,
We're all important.
We're
Yeah,
all important. Absolutely. And then let me see. Tell me about now you have 2 Flickr books. You had one out, and then the publishing company approached you about doing another one, and now they have approached you, since you got that one out, they've approached you about doing another one. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, actually, there's 2 out in the series.
2 out in the series, and it's
2
called
out of the
Flickr.
series. And the people who are doing the bio film documentary asked for screen scripts for both of those. They're thinking of eventually turning into movies. And because there's 2,
Right.
so they asked for a third. Although series are not really my cup of tea. I mean, you have to, when you sit down to write a second of a series book, I mean, you have to remember what the characters did in the first book, and you have to remember their names, and you have to remember their relationships. And by the time I get around to book 3, I don't know who anybody is or where they are, or what they're doing. Because as soon as I finish a book, it's pretty much, like a kid. Send them out in the world and let them, send back money.
Right.
You almost have to take notes.
Well,
okay, this person was with this person.
Just take
this job was
anyway.
this.
So.
Well, you should, in a series, I guess you should sit down and you should actually do a whole separate, these are the characters, and this is their description, and this is who they're related to, and this is who they associate with, so that when the time comes, you can just thumb through that and refresh your memory. Where I have to sit down and go through the book again and read it again because
and that's okay, because everything's fresh in your mind, and you won't forget anything, and you can make notes while you're reading. And because I think this is the way I think of it, and maybe you should think of it this way too. Hey, they approached you to write another book, and they're willing to pay you. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't sound that enthused.
Well, and I mean, it means somebody obviously likes what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that's really
Think about it that
a
way.
good thing.
Demand is the good thing for an author.
No,
anyone.
no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I've realized that for my whole career. I mean, I started out getting a degree in advertising marketing. So
Right.
the fact that I wrote my first book and just continued on from then.
Yeah, it just kind of snowballs, right?
Yeah.
Well, and here's something to think about too, and I don't think a lot of people probably think about this, is when you're an author or an actor or anything, what you're doing can touch people on a very personal level too, and you may be helping somebody through something with your writing.
Yeah.
Yes, and if you're altruistic, that's very good. But if you're not,
I figure, are they paying me?
well,
Well, I'm going to work.
That's always one of my first concerns. Yeah, is there money in this?
Is there money in this?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's actually what drove me in the very beginning of my career. I mean, I wanted to travel, and writing allowed me to travel, gave me the money to travel, and so it's been a good life. I mean, I have nothing to complain about. I'm not too sure people will be interested enough to watch it in a film documentary, but I've had a good time, so I have no complaints. Or when I have them, they're not all that meaningful, I guess.
Right. Well, I mean, it's all in the way you look at it. And I think, it's so impressive that you have over 200 books published. Doesn't that make you like feel so proud?
Well, I don't know. I was very pleased. Wildside Borgo Press, the mainline press, put on a reference book that listed all 200 books at one time and put them in order for me.
Wow.
And I'm very pleased to have that book, because now when anybody asks me any questions about any of the books that I can't remember, all I really have to do is just sit down with the reference book and check on anything that I wrote before 2010, I think. So that was beneficial. And I suppose, I'm happy that I have a record to fall back on and to point to and to say, well, look, I did that. But I don't see it any more special than what anybody else is doing and then with their life.
Well, you're so talented. I wish you could see you through my eyes, because I'm like, wow, you're so amazing. So let me just tell you, wow, you're so amazing. Let me pat your ego a little bit.
Oh,
Come on.
thank you.
Come on.
Yeah.
You like it.
You really are a fantastic author. I mean, I've only read one book so far, but I mean, I was hooked fast and I couldn't put it down. So, and that is very hard for me to say, because I'm super critical of most people's writing, including my own. So if I couldn't put it down, it's a good read.
Well,
which makes you a good author.
I really appreciate. I do appreciate praise. I mean, what author doesn't? I mean,
Yeah. Right.
Of course, if you were saying nasty things, I would just put my fist up to your picture here and squish it. You're doing very well.
We need to take a commercial break real quick, William.
Well, I guess so. They pay.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Okay. Very good.
We'll be right back.
But I got some truth. I got some. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. You ain't here selling repast food and all that. I mean, you know when you repast food. You know when you made the. I mean, you know when you be at the fruit and the old women got that serving the food. At the fruit. Yeah. Ever been out serving the food? They be doing something, you be wanting, they have chicken and ham and ribs, and you be wanting she's a real chicken. Oh, no, baby. It's for the family. and how that little side over the microphone and she be digging on the side. Just give me some cheese. And we have a problem when we tell, oh, I know my child. I know my child ain't did this. You don't know what your child is.
Look at Elder Levine over there. Look at Elder Levine.
Amen.
Amen.
You don't know what your child do when they ain't in your eyesight.
Well,
where my
But
children?
we done been children before.
Where my children?
And we always, when we good.
Advisory is highly recommended before listening to this audiobook. Sexual content is included. Confinement Chronicles, the inspirational audiobook series produced by Angie BEE Productions, is now emerging from the curve in 2021. You are now listening to Volume 2 in this series, and it is entitled The Single Saved Struggle. Our next story is titled The Value of Virginity, and it was written by Laretha Simon. Whether your virginity was stolen or consensual, virginity is valuable and still has its place in our society. My virginity was stolen. What is a virgin? The very first mention of the word virgin in Genesis chapter 24, verse 16. The woman Rebecca was very beautiful, a virgin. No man had ever slept with her.
When it seemed like the world had stopped, as if our normal would never be again. Confinement Chronicles.
Still, there were those who held fast to hope. These are their stories. From teachers to dads to nurses on the front line, they have chronicled their messages of hope, Confinement Chronicles, now available. Order today on Amazon, also available in audiobook or at laderopress.com.
Confinement Chronicles.
The Single Saved Struggle, a volume from the 2021 audiobook series produced by Angie BEE Productions. Single, saved, and struggled for sure. Written by Angela Cooper. At the tender age of 23, she was driving down the highway when, from the back seat of her little old Chrysler New Yorker, a small voice said, "Mama, when we going back to church?" Shocked to her core, conviction overtaking her, as she had to pull off the road to process what she had just heard, because her eyes are so filled up with tears that she can barely see what's in front of her. She heard the voice of God tugging at her heart to come back to her first love. Stay safe and be blessed.
These church announcements are being brought to you by We Keep It Real Funeral Home. Amen. Let the church say amen. Amen. And their church motto is, if you ugly living, what make you think we can make you look good dead? Let the church say amen. 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 Let the church say amen again. Amen. Amen. Make him look like himself. Make him look like himself. This is a picture of him 2 years old. Only thing is he ain't got no teeth and he ain't got no teeth. Make him look like himself. Calm down.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I am going to welcome back Cindy and then William so we can finish interviewing him. Hello, welcome back.
Well, thank you. That's a nice group of advertising. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, well.
What to say? Yeah.
TV's got to have advertisement, right? That's how you stay in business, right?
Yeah, everything does, yes.
Absolutely, and we'd love for you to subscribe and get advertising space. So if you're watching, you got a business or a book or something you want to promote, let's get you on. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways,
absolutely.
back to your questions. What were you saying, Cindy? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, absolutely. I was agreeing with you.
Yay, I like people who agree with me. That's good.
Bonus points for Cindy.
Bonus points for Cindy. Okay, what advice do you have for aspiring authors?
Don't give up your day job.
Don't give up your day job.
Especially in the present market. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be that many readers around anymore. I mean, people who used to read now, go to the internet or they go to audiobooks or things like that. I don't think that there are many readers out there anymore and of course it wasn't helped any by a lot of self-published books that had a lot of spelling errors and everything in them that people would pick up and think they were going to be good and think, oh, these aren't good anymore. So I don't know. It's kind of like it goes a pendulum. It goes one way, swings one way, and people are not interested. And then all of a sudden, the younger people get interested, like with Harry Potter or with the Vampire Chronicles or something like that. And then swings back again. So it just depends. I don't know. My advice is if you are a writer, you write. I mean, you almost feel compelled to write, whether you think that you're going to make $1 million out of it or just for your own satisfaction. So if you want to be a writer, I just say, sit down and start putting words to paper, because that's the best advice that I could give you. Because nothing gets written if it doesn't get started. So.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm working on some book series myself.
Yes,
so
I
that
do.
helps. Okay, so how did you start your writing career?
Well, I started out with a degree in marketing advertising, and I had a summer off. Well, let's see. After college, I enlisted in the Army for 3 years. And then after that, I decided to take 2 months off and contact advertising agencies in New York and San Francisco and see, I was lining up interviews, and I read a book and said, you've heard it before, I can do that. And so I started writing chapters every night and reading them to my friends, and we'd all get together and get drunk and laugh and have a high time. And then when I got to 60,000 words, I said, that's an awful lot of effort for not getting any return on my investment.
Right.
So I submitted it to the publisher of the book that I had read before. I said I could do that, and they wrote back and not only accepted it, but said, do you have any more?
Wow.
So that's how it started out. Otherwise, I would probably be doing jingles for toothpaste.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they said yes, because I can't imagine where you would be now.
Yes, no, and I can't either. No, I mean, it was a good thing. I always looked upon writing as a hobby. I mean, I always enjoyed it. And I was writing since I was a young person. I was writing short stories and things and enjoying them. And I was on the high school and the junior high paper and that sort of thing. And in the literary clubs, the writing clubs at school. But I never really thought of it as a living. Even though I had friends who were going into the newspaper business, that really didn't do much for me. So it was just, it was kind of one of those things. It was an accident. So luck on my part. I was very fortunate. I really have nothing to complain about in regard to my life.
That's awesome.
Something to be said for happy accidents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And how do you handle writer's block?
I just don't write. If I don't feel like writing, I mean, if there's nothing there, I just don't write. And sooner or later, I feel like writing again, or go to something else. I mean, I painted seriously for a time and sold artwork and that sort of thing.
Oh, your paintings are exquisite.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you.
I want all of them. I just want a wall of William Maltese paintings, especially the flower. I love the flowers. I love the flowers. I love them all. Can I just say I love them all?
Flowers. You certainly may say that. Yeah. My flowers were. I mean, and then even my flowers. I started painting poisonous plants. Was what I was pretty well known for. I was painting poisonous plants that had very attractive flowers, so that sort of thing. The problem, of course, with a career in painting is I was doing a good deal of traveling, and it was very difficult to take an easel and paint and turpentine and paintbrushes and everything on world travels when you could just needed a notebook and a pencil when you went to Machu Picchu or Great Zimbabwe or ruins anywhere. You could just walk and sit down on a rock. Because when I first started out, it was, you didn't even have laptops. You didn't have anything small enough to take along with you. So you either took along a typewriter or you took along something else. So pen and paper was most convenient.
Right.
Pen and paper is most convenient. And now, how do you get an agent, and do you need one to write?
Look, I have now three agents dealing with 3 of my books and things, and I've had agents in the past, and it's kind of a what is the term? They made a movie out of it where, you know, it's six have done, half a dozen another. If you need an agent to get published, but you need published to get an agent. Catch 22.
Right.
Catch 22. That's the term that I was looking for. And quite frankly, I don't think that I have any room to recommend or not recommend, because I have very seldom had one. I mean, I reached a point very early where publishers started coming to me,
Right.
you know, rather than the agent in between. So my dealings with agents hasn't been all that. It's a wait and see thing. I mean, the ones that I've got now, as I said, a couple of them have just asked to represent one book, and I'm figuring, you know, that's no skin off my teeth. You know, if they want to do that, go ahead, and I'll see what turns out. And the ones who are doing the other ones, I mean, if they have connections and they think that they can do something, well, I'll give them a try. But I'm not too sure that your best bet, you know, is they have these Writer's Digest books, the library reference books, which will list all of the publishers, and they'll tell you whether you need an agent. And if you don't need an agent, I don't see why you should have one. Although I'm biased, as I said, because I've never really needed one or never really had one. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's all about who you know as well. You know, if you know somebody and they know somebody, then that can help kind of spiral things. And there's also self-publishing. You can just self-publish if you don't want to go through the rigmarole of getting a publishing house. Self-publish.
Especially if you have a background in English or grammar, so that you know what you do. The main problem, the main problem with self-publishing isn't the plot, because a lot of good people have a plot in them, you know, a good book in them. It's just that they don't present it right. And if you have readers looking at your books thinking, you know, oh my God, you know,
absolutely,
how am I a mistake? That's the main mistake of main publishing.
Yeah,
if you
get an editor.
Yeah, get an editor and do it, or get someone to beta read it, or get somebody to read it for you to go through it. Don't count on yourself to do it. Yes. Yeah,
you can find somebody on Fiverr, or if you know somebody that likes to edit, or you just have your mommy read it. Make sure you didn't make any mistakes, depending on the kind of book it is. Have your friend read it. Have your husband read it. Your wife read it.
Cindy, is that your hair or a cushion behind you?
It's a cushion.
Oh, do you know? I've been looking at you the whole time, and I've been thinking, my goodness, that's interesting hair. And then you suddenly moved, and your hair didn't move with you. And I thought,
no, it's hair. Yeah, it's a cushion to support my neck.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
It's all right.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's to keep her neck up, because her neck hurts if she doesn't have it. And so it just keeps her comfy, so she can be on the computer and whatnot. Yeah. And hey, I say you do what you got to do, right? Like I got a pillow behind my back, pillows here. You just can't see it all, but I'm comfortable.
And I have a pillow under my butt, so there we go.
There you go.
We all got stuff somewhere.
Exactly.
Calling on for aid, so yes.
That's awesome. Okay, William, is there anything else that you would like to say before you go? We got about a minute left.
No, just thank you for having me on, and it's always a pleasure. So yeah, it's been fun, and I enjoyed it. And thank you for asking me. And that's okay.
You're welcome. I thought of you first as soon as I talked to Angie and got everything in the works. You're the first person I messaged. I'm like, I got a show. On it. And you're like, yes.
And I'm so pleased, because I know how you look forward to TV and well, you're head of a media corporation in which TV is included, so yes. I'm very delighted, and I'm very pleased, and I feel very proud to have been asked, so thank you.
And I'm so excited I got to talk to you again. I really enjoy when we get to talk.
Cindy,
I do too, and I hope it's not the last time.
Me too.
No, of course not. We'll have to get you one, like when your next book comes out, or one of the movies, or something comes out that you finish, then we can have you on again and talk about it.
Well, thank you. I'll be sure
to
keep you up to date and let you know. And good luck with the with your TV show here.
Thank you so much. It's been a delight having you. Thank you, William.
Well, thank
Bye.
you.
Have a good time. We'll see you soon
Goodbye,
again.
and thank you much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Isn't he a delight?
He
I
is. I
love
really
him
like
so
him.
much.
I really like him. He's a sweetheart.
We'll have to take him to the China Dragon sometime soon because he loves the China Dragon. He loves Chinese food. That's my favorite place in the whole entire world. And we'll have to take him there because the first time I met him in person, that's where we went. China Dragon.
I would absolutely love to meet him in person because I'm a fan.
Oh,
I
he's
am a fan.
amazing to meet in person. I've known him for about 6 years and I've only met him in person once. And he lives here, but he travels a lot.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to invite him when we go to Hawaii our first time, because why not? I mean, he has helped build up the magazines as well by writing for them for so long. And he's also writing for the Money Magazine. Is it the Money Magazine or the Luxury Lifestyle Magazine? I forget.
Yeah, I don't know. You should just write for both. I mean, for real.
I could. It could. It could be for both. I'll have to ask him. I'll have to look at my notes again. But so I have that to look forward. He writes for the fashion magazine, and then he's gonna do either for the Money Magazine or it's Money Magazine. I'm sure it is. It's got to be because we don't have it out yet. And I'm very excited about our future, and this show is amazing, and it's going to be super fun. Interviewing celebrities, interviewing entrepreneurs, interviewing coaches, because I'm a big fan of, sometimes you can't do it all by yourself, and why should you? So I have 3 coaches myself, all for different things that I need the advice and the help and the, because you can't, I'm a head of a corporation. I can't do it all by myself. It's not just a corporation of one. Right. And so it's like I need a team to help me along. And I just love everything about this. I love being able to have you as my co-host.
I'm really happy to be here too, so it's fun.
And us to have an hour show, that's super exciting. It's super exciting to have on, people that I'm a fan of, and can reach out to them and say, hey, would you like to be a part of this with me? And and they get just as excited as I do that I ask them. Because they're like, wow, I get to be on a TV show. I'm like, most people don't even think of that. Just like my clients from the magazine, they're like, I didn't even know it was possible to get in it. I mean, like how you get in it and all that. And so yes, please contact us if you would like to be in the magazines. We're on, go to issue.com, ISSUU, Contessa's Court. And then you'll see all the magazines that we have. You'll be able to look at the back issues. You'll be able to look at the current issues. Please contact me for to advertising space for the show, for advertising for the magazine, anything. We're very excited about this. We will be on when it airs to be able to comment and talk to you. Or I for sure will be. I'm hoping Cindy will be as well.
Yes.
And so that way we'll be able to interact with you. So this is a kind of like a fully immersive experience. You see us on the show, but then we're also talking to you too. And so I think that's very exciting that we'll be able to interact with you when you're watching it live. And thank you, Cindy.
Thank
for
you.
being my co-host. Thank you, William, for being our guest. Thank you to my husband. Thank you, Robert. Thank you to my 2 sons, Austin and Skylar. Thank you to Alex for being amazing and awesome and quiet.
Yes, that's a big one. The quiet is a big one.
The quiet is a big one. Well, Skylar's asleep and Austin's playing video again, so I didn't have a problem with my 2. But I appreciate all of you, all of our watchers, and be watching, right? Those who tune in, and we think you're incredible, amazing. We love you. We want to see you grow and be happy too. So kisses, kisses.
I want to see
everybody.
all of us grow together. So
all of us grow together. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you.
Mwah.